you should never, ever reach a place where you're like, okay, I'm content and good with my growth. No. Now, those days are great. You got to have those days where you're like, okay, every day can't be a growth day. Facts. However, if you're like, well, it's just as how I am. This is just how I am. Like, that's not, no, we're not going to do that. And I want to give you 5, that's right, 5 do's and don'ts of your growth cycle. Okay. And this journey should be lifelong. One of the biggest issues before I get into the 5 that you have got to get clear in is that you got to stop trying to get to some end goal that's fast, because you should never, ever, ever reach some place where you're like, okay, I'm fully grown. You should always be a work in progress for the rest of your natural born life. So there's some do's and don'ts. Number 1, do keep your journey private. You do not have to put it on social media unless you choose to, right? But no, you don't need a bunch of chatter and noise. And then people are asking, well, what did you do? Weren't you supposed to be doing this? Keep your journey private. Okay. Don't, which is the number 1, expect yourself to stay in a victim mode and then think that other people should coddle you. No. The life we live is very much like the Hunger Games. I mean, my goodness, like I told you before, we're all going to be a tribute at some point in time, right? And it's often, sometimes more than once. And it is imperative that you understand that everybody, including you, your experience is very, very real. Your experience is very, very true and very, very real. But so is everybody else's. And it is your job to work through these hurdles. It is your job to stop making excuses. It is your job to stop saying it is hard. Life is hard. Choose which hard you want. So keep your journey private. Do not live in the victim mentality. That's 1. Number 2, okay, is learn who you are. You have to unlearn who you are before you can learn who you are. You might have been raised with a certain religion or political belief or how you do things and the expectations that we have in a family. That is a program. You were literally programmed that way. And in order to move past that, you have to unlearn it. So you do have to be patient with yourself. You do have to give yourself time. You do have to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. This is a must. This is a do, yes. Okay? What you don't do is wait to feel ready. You don't wait to feel comfortable. You don't wait to not feel scared. No, that is never, it is not going to be a time where you're just I'm going to have confidence now. I'm going to get all this self-esteem and then I'm going to do the things. Stop waiting. Do not wait. That's number 2. Okay. Number 3, do not get married to expectations and assumptions of other people. Huge issue here. You are too attached with, well, this is how, this is how I would do it. This is how such and such would do it. I don't understand why they're not doing it. I don't understand. This is how you're supposed to. No. That goes back to number 1. Let's undo that reprogram. Every human being on this planet's different, and they have every right to live their life as they choose. You do not have to rock with it, but they have every right to live. So number 1 is you got to start deprogramming. Deprogram. Learn who you are. Take yourself on dates. Try new hobbies. Make a new meal. Do something that you're uncomfortable with doing. Do create a self-care and self-love hour for yourself each day, or a few minutes each part of your day. That is a do. Do not think that perfectionism is real. Do not get into this, well, I got to do it right. Again, that goes back to number 1. This is why number 1 is start working on this deprogramming, right? Because number 1, because when you are in that perfection, I need to do this. That is a program. Yes, it is we know it's a trauma response. It's a program. If you don't do the bed this way, it's wrong. If you don't do this in this relationship, it's wrong. If you don't show up for family, it's wrong. No, that is a program. Perfectionism is not real. Do not get married to think that you're supposed to be at 10 at all times. You're supposed to get 100% at all times. That is not real. It is unachievable. It is unattainable. We are not going to do that. Number, what are we in? 1, 2, 3. I think we're in 4 now, right? Should have kept numbers. Number 4, do allow yourself to find your tribe of people who's going to be around you and people you want to spend time with based on your being authentic. So you got to be authentic. Be authentic. Number 4 is be authentic and understand that just because you're blood related doesn't make it your tribe. Don't go fishing for people. That's the other problem, which is the don't to this. So that's why I'm doing them together. Don't go seeking people. Now we're going into attachment. Now we're going into forcefulness. Remember, right? Understand that when you are yourself, you will attract people. Not maybe necessarily in your time. It will come. And it may not be this family, right? Don't, right? Force it. And don't expect people, going back to the other one, don't expect people to like be that tribe just because you're related. Okay. Don't get married to the idea that family is relatives. Okay. Be true to self, find your tribe. Don't think that your tribe are people who are related to you. Sometimes it will be, sometimes it will not be. It is fine. You've got to get very clear. And honestly, a lot of this is going to come back to that deprogramming, right? It's all going to, that's why I'm doing these, not necessarily in order, because you can do them all at different times, but really that one's going to really be probably one of the best ones for you, because so much of, oh, well, I need to do this. I need to do that. Okay. Number 5, watch the way you talk to yourself. Watch the way you talk to yourself. Do not use big words like should, shouldn't, good, bad, right, wrong. 6 words we're not using. Should, shouldn't, and I guess we can add more too. Have to, must. These are all these big words. Do not use those. Watch how you talk to yourself. Oh my gosh, you're being so stupid. There will be no person. I don't care how many narcissists you run into. I don't care how much abuse you have gone through in the past. There will be nobody who will talk worse to yourself except for you. Now, that can be triggered by these people. Don't get me wrong, in situations. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, do not adopt that as your own voice and then find that as the belief system, right? No one, again, on this planet will talk as bad about you as you will yourself. And no one is in your head. You could be doing this all day long. Be mindful of that. Oh my God, I'm being so lazy. No, we're not doing that. All right. Do pay attention. Do not berate yourself. Okay. So that's just 5 of many, I could do 100 episodes on this. Many do's and don'ts on your growth cycle. But I'm going to add this. I kind of said this in the beginning. It's not really one of the 5. Do understand that this is a lifelong process. Do not rush that process. Do not shortcut that process. Do understand that you're going to have to do the mundane work. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to show up when you don't feel like showing up. You're going to have to embrace the hard. It's hard. Fine. We know it's hard. Pick a heart. One is productive, one is not. Do not try to shortchange it. Do not try to rush the process. Do not decide you just wrote 2 really good journal entries and now you're an author. Here is a process. Life is a process. And the successful piece of that is doing the mundane stuff, working and healing your own trauma, not by yourself, so to speak, but this is your journey. Every human is going through something, and what you went through is real. But your growth for the rest of your natural born life is to become the better version of yourself. Become and live to be the person that you choose to be, but know why you're doing that. And it cannot be for the love of this person, the acceptance of this person. No. Now we're going into attachment. Go listen to my podcast on attachment. So those are really the 5 things to start incorporating and adopting into your life to understand, to do, and then to not do. And what you will find is as you start doing this and be consistent, and you start deprogramming that reticular activating system, you start seeing things differently. You start looking for the positive. You don't start looking for the negative. And you know what? You're absolutely capable of doing so.